Erev Tov, everyone. This week's parsha, we have an unusual conversation, so to speak, kaviyachol, between the Ribono Shel Olam and Avraham Avinu. The Chumash, it says that the Lord said, "Amachas ani me'Avraham asher ani oseh." Is it possible for me to cover up, not to tell Avraham Avinu what I intend to do? So that itself is a great, difficult question. The Lord doesn't know an explanation to anyone. And there are many other things that occur that there is no explanation. We will see later by the Akedah, the Ribono Shel Olam doesn't tell him in advance what's going to happen. Greater Nisoyim, more severe test of faith. So then why here all of a sudden, where do we see that there's a necessity, so to speak, for this revelation and the discussion to take place? And then the Torah continues, Avram is going to be this great nation, and all the world will be blessed from him. So what has that got to do with having this conversation with him? So here we have an idea that is fundamental to understanding how Judaism views the world. We do not find before Avraham Avinu that there is discussions between the creator and the created. We find that the Ribono Shel Olam asks Odom Arishon Ayeko, and he provides an excuse, but he doesn't have a discussion. And with Noach, the Ribono Shel Olam says, "Hini mashchisam es haaretz," and Noach is completely passive. He has no response. He does not enter into a discussion with the Ribono Shel Olam. So many Meforshim say that this is also one of the nisyonos shenisnas Avraham Avinu. One of the tests is to see what his response will be, that the Lord begins a conversation with him. Because the Avraham is going to be a great nation. The great nation is engaged in a continual conversation with Hashem. It never is passive. It's always a two-way street. And the Torah indicates here that human beings have somehow kaviyachol, a power to influence what's going to happen. We find that by Moshe Rabbeinu, that the Ribono Shel Olam wanted to destroy Klal Yisrael by the Egel. And the Ribono Shel Olam told him, if you leave me alone, that's what I'm going to do. And Moshe Rabbeinu understood that he had an opportunity not to leave him alone, not to let the moment pass. And that is a fundamental understanding that Klal Yisrael has an influence. and that the Ribono Shalom Kaviyachol is looking not so much for obedience as for partnership. What do you say? What are you going to do? And that a lot of things, therefore, are left up to us to implement. The whole idea of the Messianic era. So on one hand, the Messianic era is beyond our control. We can only sit and wait. But on the other hand, is the Korev Limos HaMashiach, that we can make it happen sooner. We somehow have an input. And depending upon our input will be the response of heaven, the relationship of heaven to the matter. And that is that's the new thing that is introduced in this parsha. So the Ribono Shalom, it says, "Amachas ani me'Avraham." I want Avraham to be a partner with me. A partner always is entitled to full revelation. He's entitled to know the facts, because that's the basis of the partnership, the basis of the relationship. So Noach is not a partner, Noach is servant. He's like Eliezer. But the Ribono Shalom is looking for more than that. That's why the Mefarshim explain, Moshe Rabbeinu went up Har Sinai, and he was there for 40 days and 40 nights to study the Torah. The Ribono Shalom could have given him a complete Torah right away. But the input of Moshe is necessary in order to make the Torah a partnership with the Jewish people. And we see that throughout the ages. The development of Torah is through people, through the Talmidei Chachamim, through learning, through studying, through creativity. That's how the Torah is developed. And it's not given as, so to speak, this is it and goodbye. And you have nothing to say about it. Just the opposite is true. The more that we have to say about it, the greater the Torah becomes. And the fact that the Jewish people have always dealt with it that way. So that itself is the great test of Avraham Avinu. He becomes greater from it simply because of the fact that he enters into it. So as a partner, he says, oh, maybe there's 50 righteous people, maybe there's 45, 40, 30, 20, 10, whatever. Because as a partner, he has a right to say it. Because otherwise the question is raised, then where does he have the nerve to say anything? The Ribono Shalom told him, I'm going to destroy them, goodbye. So why did he even enter into a discussion? And the answer is because of the fact that there is a partnership, there is a relationship. And it's that way throughout the generations. The Gemara tells us, Choni Hama'agel, he brings rain. And he tells heaven how to adjust the rain. Where does he have the right to do that? Because he's a partner. And in all the discussions of Torah that exist, the whole Talmud Bavli and Yerushalmi and everything since, it's a continuing dialogue, so to speak, between the Creator and Klal Yisrael regarding these fundamental issues of life and of behavior. So therefore, the Ribono Shel Olam opens the door. Hamachas Ani Ma'Avraham is the opening of the door to partnership. And I want to see, because Avraham, he could be a great partner, but he has to do it himself. And that becomes the basis for the relationship between Klal Yisrael and the Ribono Shel Olam Kaviyachol throughout all of the ages. So in this vignette, which the Torah describes for us in this week's Parsha, in this moment of adjustment, when Avraham Avinu enters into this dialogue with the Ribono Shel Olam, so we see that Avraham always considers himself a partner. It's the same thing when the Ribono Shel Olam promised him Yitzchak, he said, Lu Yishmael Yichyeh Lefanecha. If I let Yishmael live. So that's spoken like a partner, not like a servant. And in all of the areas of Avraham Avinu, we see that that was his relationship. And that's why he's our father. He's the founder of the nation, because he is the one that realized that the relationship will be one of mutual cooperation, so to speak, mutual benefit, of a partnership. And therefore, Yeh L'Goy Godol Otzum Varot. Rabbi Chananya ben Akash Omer Otzah Kodesh Baruch Hu V'Zakos Es Yisrael Leficha Chir B'Lahem Torah Mitzvot Shenemar Adonai Chafetz Leman Tzidko Yagdil Torah V'Yadir.